Alright, leaky vtech solenoid. Just gonna take it off, clean it up, clean the head off. Hopefully it sat for a couple days since the leak, so hoping everything is drained down and I can clean the head as well. Put the gasket back in there with some ATV. You know, I was thinking about it. I may fill the inside of the slot for the solenoid gasket with ATV, sit overnight and cure back tomorrow. Put the gasket on the slot where the ATV is flush. Crush the gasket up against the ATV. Maybe even have some more ATV. I didn't want to have any ATV there at all, but that's a typical thing. The solenoid. Heard it, seen it online, on channels. So I'm gonna tackle it. I guess it'll be a good time for me to sand this tip down. I mean, it's cool. You know, I didn't have to have a pointy cap for this. It was the only one that I found that fit over this. I guess this is the JDM style vtech solenoid because I did have a JDM B16 head on here before I wiped it out. So yeah, unfortunately the big one, the only one I could find was the one with the point. So I'm going to sand it down because just back from the alignment, taken to the alignment and back, it made a little bit of a nick there on the hood, and I don't want to take any chances driving with it pointy for periods of time and it wearing through my carbon hood. Oh, that's right, this tin don't work. I have a feeling it's probably just in case anything's trying to leak out and pouring out since I let it sit for a couple days, but I'd say that could definitely be the problem. Look at that mess. Holy smokes. I'm not sure why, but it came out. And it, like I said, I forget everything. But it came out and it was like slightly different. Look at how that's shaped. This must be like for the American version or something. I'm gonna have to like do research on the JDM, because you can see how that is not the right one. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments on this, and where, or you know, if there is a JDM one, there must be a JDM one, and where to get it and all that. Alright, so there is a little ridge inside this gasket where the actual filter sit, and I looked online for JDM B16 vtech solenoid filter gasket, and I just keep seeing the same gasket, which is this gasket. So let's see if I can get this filter in the rubber correctly, because I'm thinking maybe it popped out or something and I just threw it in there, threw the filter in there or something, I don't know. So I don't want it to fall out of the dang rubber at the same time there. So I'm gonna clean this up before I get all super meticulous about how it sits in the vtech solenoid. Actually, I wanted to grind that down too, so I might as well do that for now. Grinding into my hood now.
Just chew it. I think I'll just chew it.
Because it jumps. Alright, here's what it is. Get every little bit out of there I can, so that when it stands upright, it doesn't trail to the gasket as I'm trying to seal it to the head. Of course, this thing's just going to be leaking forever, right? So whatever I do on this, I'm gonna have to go as quick as possible because these ports are never gonna let up. They're just gonna stay leaking. So what I'm gonna do is get some sealant. Yeah, it's just gonna keep coming back. So put the gasket over the filter.
It's so high, semen on walls, semen her walls, feel me walls, baby ball walls.
Alright, so I got one wire. I'm going to go ground, and I've got a gator clip, another wire that I'm going to act as my positive. And my wire situation's getting pretty skimp, so I'm having to get a little ghetto, which I don't have a problem with. Bad boy to stay so I can feel it. Okay, so that is blowing out the front. Now I'm going to flip the lines around. I had it running like this. Now I'm going to run it like this. And it still runs the same way. Is what it is. I gotta flip that bad boy around. So that's what we're gonna do. Time to put it on the inside of the radiator. Bye bye spaciousness. Alright, now what would be really nice is I already have these cut to size if I just go ahead and unhook the zip tie to reuse these. Yeah, the reason why I went with a zip tie on both ends was kit came with these little mounting plates. Actually, I think one of them was a zip tie, was an actual Radiator zip tie mount. One of them was weak and it failed because it's cheap, obviously. So what I did was I just drilled a hole through the zip tie plate, just big enough that I could put zip ties through, so I can use my own zip ties, whatever zip tie I want, so I can keep using the plates and not have to worry about going and getting Radiator zip ties or whatever. Yeah, so I'm gonna get those undone and see if we can't flip this thing around. Fortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have to relocate radiator overflow. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll make some sort of bracket or something that I can mount it over. Oh, just a little bit more. Oh, dude, close. Wait. Oh, yes. Winning. Here. I have a feeling this is totally gonna melt right here. Dang it. Bring it over as far as I can, I suppose. Which compromises my overflow even more. Head of the zip tie. Like so. Keep the spring from digging into the fins. Buffer pack. Oh. Spring. Those zip ties are nice and tight. Oh man, really? Dang it. I did this the first time a few times when I was installing this. See, I forgot to put the dang plate on before the zip tie in the front on this side, so I'm gonna have to remove all those heads and put this on.
The head she wants to own, she feeling the kid. Ain't my first time, all I want, it looking like fucking. It's so high, semen on walls, semen her walls, feel me walls, baby ball walls. So high. Piece of paper. Semen her walls. You're gonna put it in your eyes.
Alright, so we got the fan there. And hopefully that's gonna be enough clearance not to melt it out. As we'll see as we go. You know, because I don't want to have to put a bunch of heat tape, heat reflected tape on it, because I'm just not a big fan of that, even though I got some right here around this loom. So I don't want my wires to melt, but yeah. Alright, so let that chill for the night. Give her a start up once I get the new location of my overflow. Now the fan's in the way. How are you gonna do this? Horn facing forward so I can really blast on a fool that wants to go. Oh, here's one right here. Ba 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 ba.
The shadow and Hoopy pop some more and shoot he. My man is angry and I got the bloopies. We ate the whole things and he fell down the stairs. Hey, cases and sucker punches, crackerheads, no lunches, binges and yo hunches, millies and crunching munches, bitches and me begging me, dropping her liking me. This is broken teeth, shotting me with 4 weeks and just passing geek.
Ooh, glad that's over with. Ooh, I lost a couple decimals on that. Don't want that rattling off. All right. And I think on my catch, I'm gonna crack the drain just a little bit, so if it ever gets any moisture or anything, it can just drip right there and down the frame, instead of like waiting for it to fill and then draining it. All right, now that I've relocated the overflow container, I need to run a different line. Man, my last piece of hose in that size, and it looks like it's going to be just enough to do the job. Crazy.
Straight to the dome. It's time to live. Looking at